Ladies and gentlemen, the fall 2025 campaign is gonna come to an end in 2 hours because today is the update day of the big winter update. And yeah, with that, a new campaign drops, meaning that fall 2025, the campaign we had for almost 4 months now, is gonna come to an end, and people have absolutely cooked in this campaign. We're gonna check out all of the 25 world records, and we're of course also going to check out the current ranking, because it is actually... Wait, this is the wrong campaign. Because it is actually relatively close, as you can see in the top right. Hobbit is currently in the lead with, yeah, quite a few points to be honest, with 45,000. But Lima is also still in the fight for the victory. So potentially, in the last couple of hours of the campaign, things might still change, but probably most of the world records are set in stone. So I want to see what the community has cooked and how crazy the runs are. We're going straight into map number 1, of course. Let's go. So, map 01, world record holder currently is #1 Riolu fan, but I can tell you this world record by #1 Riolu fan was only done, I think, 1 or 2 days ago, so this is a very, very recent world record. And as it is map 1 in the campaign, the map is of course very, very stacked, only 3,000 ahead of Hobbit. So yeah, Hobbit fighting for the win here. Maybe he's still gonna beat the world record. I know that he is very, very busy with hunting the campaign still, so the one or other world record might still fall, and maybe this is going to be one of them. Other than that, this was a actually a pretty weird map 01. Usually map 01 is always very open and full platform, maybe some road speed sliding, but this one is actually relatively normal, you could say. And yeah, nothing we can really say all about the inside lines. #1 Riolu fan actually was a bit behind here in his run, but then got a phenomenal last turn, got the yellow boost a bit quicker, and snipes Hobbit on the very last centimeter, basically. So yeah, as expected, with a simple map like this, the fights are crazy, and maybe Hobbit is going to be able to beat this one in the last 2 hours of the campaign. So, going straight to map number 2, and map number 2 is a typical dirt map with a lot of no-sliding going on. And because of that, we also have familiar faces here in the top 2, Lord Quacked and Solivagans. So let's see what they are doing here. Basically all about maximizing the no-slide lines on this map. Nothing super crazy going on, but very, very difficult to get a clean run-through on this map, I can tell you that much. I remember I struggled quite hard to get the champion medal on this map. I even tied the champion medal almost, so yeah, very, very monka. There's a few lines here. For example, people slide the uphill and then go into a no-slide. And then also here, slide into no-slide. It's like all about this, basically. So yeah, very, very rough. Also here, slide into no-slide. Basically, you have to master this technique in order to be good. And Lord Quacked, in case you guys don't know him, is one of the very best players in the world when it comes to doing these kind of no-slides on slidey surfaces. So perhaps not surprising. He has the world record, and it's a .67. Holy shit. Very nice. So yeah, also here, records actually quite far apart. Almost a 10th between 1st and 5th. Kinda crazy, to be honest, but yeah. This kind of map has a very high skill ceiling, so the gaps are a little bit bigger than you would expect. So, map number 3. I wish I could tell you a little bit more about this map, but it's just bobsleigh, and bobsleigh is probably the biggest mystery out of all things in this game to me. So yeah, the people are bobbing the bob, and Fleur is the one who bobbed the bob the hardest. Noralma also bobbed the bob quite hard, but he didn't bob the bob as hard as Fleur did, which is why Fleur has the world record here. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot tell you anything about this map. People are just crazy at bobsleigh abusing. I remember the world record on this map was also traded back and forth quite a bit here. I think the world record by Fleur is also only like a week old or so. But yeah, I don't know. Cool trick in the ending here, because you wanna keep grip and then you do like a jump flip kind of thing. Pretty interesting line. Other than that, it's just all about the typical bobsleigh abusing, basically. No clue how people are so fast here. I don't know. I remember I needed like, I don't know, 2-3 hours to get my champion medal. It was not fun. I'm not gonna miss this map. We're gonna go next. So, map number 4. Map number 4 was, yeah, the same as map number 2, you could say, because it was all about no-slide abusing. Question is, are the world records gonna load? That would be very helpful for a world record reaction, I'm not gonna lie. Nadeo servers are down, I think. That would be very bad. Okay, it took a bit, but it loaded. And on this map, we actually have the fight of the campaign, you could say, because Lima is currently in first. and Hobbit in second. The actual campaign ranking is the other way around, of course. But I also can tell you on this map, the world record has only been beaten like a week ago or so. And yeah, Lima's world record actually pretty crazy, especially considering that Lima was far behind here. But then the end by Lima was just mwah, chef's kiss perfect. Look at this. So no slide here in the start. Then keep grip down the hill. Then go zack, and then also here drift cancel. So the same as on map 2. And then Lima goes for a more outside line and has so much exit speed. Perfect no slide here. And zack, into the finish. Very, 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 very clean by Lima. Quite a bit ahead of the others, to be honest, considering it's this easy of a map, being half a tenth ahead of 5th. Pretty crazy. And even a good no slide abuser like Soliva Gans not having a chance here. So yeah, crazy, crazy cooked world record. Looks easy, but I can tell you it absolutely isn't. So yeah, very clean record by Lima. And even beating his opponent Hobbit here. Crazy. So map number 5 is another ice map, but not a bobsleigh one. It's kind of like normal ice. And someone has a funny horn. Who's that? Someone has like a whistling horn. What the hell? Okay. But yeah, this map is not so fun, to be honest, unless you are a great fan of ice wiggling. And apparently Flo drove this world record today. Okay, I didn't know that. Very interesting. Crazy music. But yeah, on this map you need to do ice wiggles in the start in order to gain speed, which is an extremely unfun technique, in case you guys didn't know. Very, very stupid. But some people are very good at that, and apparently Fleur is one of them. And then here, basically one big ice slide, where you want to go very inside with a lot of exit speed. And then, yeah, just going into the finish, basically. Bit of a weird map as well. The gaps are also relatively big, as you can see. For some reason, the top 3 is 1/10 ahead of 4th and 5th, which is very, very much, considering it's a wide campaign map. And I need to go next. This music is confusing me. But okay, diving into the green series now. The green series. Map number 6 is, in my opinion, a really, really cool map. Very, very simple in theory, because it's just full speed road driving. But therefore the records are also very, very close and very cooked. So let's see what the precision goats here are doing. You just want to go close to basically every single apex, full inside lines, going full speed, don't want to release at all. And yeah, in the end it was Crudy with the world record here. And yeah, barely any differences noticeable between the players. Everyone just going full precise, full inside. Basically, yeah, basically a precision map, you could say. And people absolutely cooked. I don't think you can improve this world record by a lot. Yeah, very clean. I mean, you see it, they're close to every single apex. Full inside here as well. Full inside, full close to the hole. Absolutely Monka gaming by them. And yeah, probably the world record in the campaign that is the closest to being maxed, I would say. Maybe with map 1. But yeah, very, very cooked. The top 5 very, very close to each other as well. But in the end, it is Crudy with the WR. GG, had the cleanest run. And Phoenix, thanks for the 22-month resub. So map number 7 is a pretty interesting map, because this map has, I mean, you could say it's a shortcut. Not really, I guess, but sort of. Because after this uphill part here, Nadeo decided to place a booster, a red boost on the right side, which was meant to be for the respawn. So in case you had to standing respawn at this checkpoint, Nadeo wanted you to go to the right and take the red boost. But players found out very, very quickly, probably on day 1 of the campaign, that it's actually faster to take the red boost on the normal route as well. So people actually go for a drift here, zack, take the red boost, perfect precision, and then they have a lot more speed into the map. And since the map is basically a full speed map, a lot more speed helps a lot more. And Lima actually has a beautiful run here. Very, very insane start especially. I think this world record also only is a couple of days old. So actually a lot of world records were broken in the last couple of days only. And yeah, especially the start by Lima, absolutely beautiful. As you can see, zack, full inside, goes far in the lead. You don't even see the other cars anymore. And then he only lost a tiny bit in the end, basically. So Hobbit is kind of close. Once again, the campaign fight showcasing very nicely here. But then there is quite a big gap to Chapti and then also to Lord Quacked and Maniac. So overall, a 10th of a gap in the top 5. But yeah, it's a very tricky map, especially with this booster in the start. You need to do perfect speed sliding. Very, very crazy map here. But in my opinion, also really cool to drive because of this small trick that was found. And yeah, nice cooking by everyone. And we're gonna go to map number 8. And map number 8, we're gonna see someone who is in the chat because Emilios is the world record holder. And this is probably one of the craziest maps in the campaign. I'm first of all gonna show you my record in case you guys are not aware. Because in theory, it's a relatively normal map, to be honest. In the start, you just go kind of fast. I did a small nose slide here, which for some reason no one else did, even though I still think it's faster. Small fun fact. Then you jump over the border here, drop down, have a turn to the left. In theory, a very, very peaceful map. Then you go through the looping, at least that is what Nadeo planned. And here, at the end, you want to grip the inside because you have more grip. And then the end is very, very important because we have a reactor boost up flight. And with reactor boost up, as you guys probably know, you can get crazy reactor speed boosts, aka soups. And the way to get them was actually to slow down a little bit and then with your nose to bounce on the hill so that it lifts up and then you get this kind of speed boost basically. But yeah, the world record is doing something different to say the least because a shortcut was found on this map and the shortcut is absolutely wicked and I think also everyone is doing that actually, or actually I'm not even sure, maybe it's only the top 3 or so. But we'll see. Emilios with the WR. Let's spectate this beauty of a shortcut. Because, yeah, people found out that you can do a looping skip by doing this. Look. Zack, zack, peng, flip, land, and, yeah. That is the shortcut. Absolutely wicked. So what happens, basically, instead of taking the loop, they drift here. Then they go for a bounce off the black beam with the side of the car. They get, like, a very, very specific type of flip. And then they land on their side, which usually would give them a slowdown. But we land on plastic, and on plastic you don't really have bad landings. Like you always land clean or you bounce on your roof basically. But since they are more on their tires than on their roof, they just get a very, very clean landing as if it was perfectly flat. And basically keep a bit more speed, have a very nice angle for the last turn as well. And with that they gain, yeah, quite a little bit to be honest. And Emilios also with a fantastic soup in the end. And with that is ahead of Lima. Very clean. And yeah, we can maybe also watch this out of the POV from the others. Did Darkest Sentinel do the cut as well? No. So the others are just going PF here. And then as you can see, the shortcut is quite a bit faster. And actually, everyone did it. Darkest Sentinel, the only one who did not do the shortcut. So he has the no shortcut world record, you could say. Very clean, very nice. But yeah, only with the shortcut you can beat this world record. And I don't even want to know how hard the shortcut is. Maybe Emilios can tell in the chat how long it took him to get the shortcut for the first time, because it looks very tough, but it also is very, very clean the way they got it. Very cool, very good cooking by everyone. So, next up, map 09 is a very, very classic tech map, and we have someone in the top 5 who I don't know at all. Who the hell is Glowfish? First time Emilios hit the shortcut on the previous map was after like 10 hours. That's crazy. So you see how much effort people at Trackmania players are putting into their records. It's absolutely crazy. That was the first time he hit it. First time he hit it after 10 hours. That's crazy. And Glowfish apparently hunted this for 30 hours. Yeah, people are crazy when it comes to campaign hunting. Next to Glowfish, we see some typical tech players. We have Tween and Sky in the top here. Very known names. Tween, former professional player. Sky basically hunts every single tech map in the game, you could say. But they apparently got beaten by a new player. As in, maybe not new, but I have never heard of him before. So Glowfish putting in the 30 hours and he actually got his campaign world record. That is pretty cool to see, to be honest. Like a new player defeating some old tech titans is pretty nice in my opinion. But what can I say about this map? All about drifting, obviously. You want to hit the slides as perfect as possible. Always get good exit speed into the next slide. It's basically the same as map 6, you could say, but you have to drift. All about precision. And this is also the map that I used for my big Trackmania Cup, where I made an altered Nadeo version of this map, if you guys remember. So yeah, cool map. Very, very cool map. Yeah, 09 PCB way, if you guys remember. Goated map. By a very clean record by Glowfish. Also a nice time, 3-3, 4-4-3. Juicy. Very, very, very juicy. So, map number 10, the final green map, is a little bit of a weird one. And we see Hobbit with the world record with quite a solid lead, to be honest. So let's see what people have cooked. We first of all have a small cut jump in the start here. And here you want to get a very nice line and a lot of exit speed down the hill without any airtime, because then you can jump up the penalty grass with a bit more speed. Then drop into here, go here. And here a very close jump where you almost clip. jump down early, and then a good last turn to have as much speed as possible into the finish. And Hobbit actually with a little bit less speed in the very end. But other than that, like his midpoint was really, really juicy. Look how far to the left he jumped. Far to the left, early down. Then he could have pushed a bit more to the outside here in theory. But yeah, nonetheless, a very clean world record. 0.24 by Hobbit. And yeah, world record is giving you 40,000 campaign points. So a very, very important record for Hobbit as well. Other than that, not really any tricks here, to be honest. Just a bit of a weird map, to be honest. I found it weird when I was hunting it back in the days. But yeah, people figured out the lines and people are very, very fast. What is the point of the water at the end? There is no point. It's just there for some reason. Okay, with that, we're going to go into map 11. And also here, we have a Hobbit world record. Hobbit really is able to drive kind of everything. And he has a 0.64 and he's in a very close fight with Kopo here, which is very interesting. Kopo and Hobbit a tenth ahead of their opponents. So let's see what they do and where they gain. A lot of jumps on this map as well. A lot of clean lines that you have to get. And here a very specific entry into the dirt outside, which is kind of crazy. And then also here another dirt outside turn, where you want to maintain as much speed as possible. And then also want to have good speed into the last looping. Zack, and into the finish. Honestly, the biggest time gain for Hobbit was actually in the start. Hobbit had like a really clean start. Look at this. He's like one car ahead almost. Then here, very interesting, in order to get a good line for the outside, it's like a very weird turn the way it was built. In order to get a better line for it, people actually get a bounce over the side of this hill here. That basically like pushes them sideways and they get a better trajectory for the outside dirt turn. Pretty interesting. Look at this. Zack, bounce, and then full speed line almost. And then I obviously want to skip the slow-mo, and yeah. The rest is basically just clean drivings. Clean driving. Jesus Christ. It's a very clean record by Hobbit. Also Kopro cooked hard, and then the others actually not able to keep up. Pretty crazy. Huge gaps here. And with that, we're gonna go to map number 12, which is a map that I personally like a lot. And the world record here is also very, very new. Only was released, I think, like 2-3 days ago or so it was driven. And this map is all about quarter pipe jumps, as you can see. And yeah, in order to get a world record on this map, on these kind of maps in general, it's all about reducing airtime. And I can tell you, Glider got a very, very sick run through here. Glider drove hella fast. Yeah, also here, as you can see, release and then instantly grip the quarter pipe, low airtime. Also here, as low as possible. And then at the end, we have a very interesting trick. I think Nadeo intended us to jump up, land in the quarter pipe, and then to just jump into the finish. But since the finish block is coming up very early and the exit speed doesn't matter anymore, people found out that you can just go low and you do a little bit of a nose bug / bug slide type of line. Look at this here. Zack. And then boom. And then you get pushed into the finish directly without going, like, you know, far around, basically. So a very interesting trick here, especially. Other than that, basically all about the quarter pipe jumps. Zack. And yeah, I don't want to imagine how stressful it was to hunt this map with having that finish in your mind. Because that finish definitely looks like it can easily go wrong. But yeah, Glider got a really clean run through with a really clean finish. And with that, he has the world record by over a tenth. That is a huge gap. Fun fact, the second to fourth place are actually very, very close to each other. Only 5,000 apart. But yeah, Glider just dominated this. And I also cannot imagine that anyone is going to try to beat this. Very clean record here. Basically perfect. And Fleur with the 4-month resub. Thank you very much, Fleur. And also Drexfreak earlier with the brand new Prime sub. Thank you. Okay, going on to bobsleigh map number 2, where Fleur once again has the world record. So Fleur apparently the best bobsleigh hunter. And yeah, same as on the previous bobsleigh map, I cannot tell you what the hell is going on here. I really don't know. People are just bombing the bob, and whoever bobs the bob the most is the bobsleigh abuser. Then here actually, fun fact, people are getting so fast that they have to release, because otherwise they would hit the checkpoint here. Completely crazy how much speed people can gather. And then we also have one ice slide where the exit speed is very important. And as you can see, Fleur is actually doing a bit of an ice speed slide. So a very low angle ice slide here. And with that he accumulates a lot of speed. Has a very high angle into the road, so he loses a bit of speed with that. But the initial time gain was still worth it basically. And then yeah, one more bobsleigh line. into the finish, and with that, he has the world record with a sort of comfortable lead, you could say. Bobsleigh maps in general usually very close with the records, because people, I don't know, for some reason are giga cracked at it. But, yeah, Fleur, in the end, with the world record, the only one who has achieved a 0.07. So, yeah, definitely a clean run. Not sure how much would be possible here, but I also don't want to know, because bobsleigh is just, yeah, not my thing. But yeah, very clean by Fleur. And Stone Brian with the 9-man free sub as well. Thank you very much, Stone Brian. Okay, coming to the next map. Depending on if the records are gonna load. There they are. Yeah, overall a bit of a mixed map. And we once again have the campaign battle being shown in the records here. Hobbit in first, Lima in second. And the thing is also, like, what you guys have to keep in mind. Like, if Lima, for example, beats the world record of Hobbit here, then Hobbit will lose 20,000 points, but Lima will gain 20,000 points. Which means that Lima would catch up 40,000 points to Hobbit. And with that, the campaign ranking, or like the campaign standings overall, could still get very interesting. But yeah, this map in particular, a kind of nice mixed map. You have some grass, you have some road, you have some some normal sliding. This booster here is very important to get a lot of speed, of course. And then here it's very important, if you listen carefully, the players are basically reducing the air... they're basically getting a little bit of airtime on purpose, but also not too much. And if you do it perfectly, you can basically keep the 4th gear for the entire ending, which is very important. So you see, or like you hear, that they are just staying in their gear. That's like one of the most important tricks. Then one downhill left slide for the finish. And yeah, basically carrying as much speed as possible. Pretty clean, pretty nice. Yeah, bit of a weird map as well, to be honest. But I think it was actually fun to hunt for the players. Doesn't look like there's anything random or super weird here. So yeah, clean record by Hobbit. Good job by Lima as well, but not enough to overtake. A bit behind still. And the real Tampon Legend. What a name. With a brand new Prime sub. Thank you. Alright, and with that we go over to full speed map number 1 in the campaign. And yeah, perhaps not surprisingly, we have full speed players in the ranking as well. We have Dubby in first with almost a sub 40. Very, very close to achieving that, but not quite enough. Then we have Enz, probably the best German full speed player, in second. Then we also have Josh, also one of the best full speed players. And then also Sully and Complex. And yeah, Dubby's record, I think, is actually pretty old already. I'm not sure when it was driven, but I think this is already like 2 months old or something, or maybe even more. Ah, this world record was driven 2 months ago, maybe 3. Yeah, exactly what I thought as well. Dubby, for some reason, had an insanely good run here. And you also see that in the start, because, yeah, for some reason, there is no one even in sight. Crazy. Also, Dubby, giga-cooked start. And with that, this world record is going to Italy. Yeah, very clean. Huge lead, considering it's a very simple map. Crazy. I have no idea what he did, but yeah. The thing with this map is also that the looping that you see here is actually a bit random with the landings you get. It's very hard to get the landings like perfect. And then also here you want to go for a little bit of a from right to left jump to land early. So a lot of airtime reduction tricks and of course speed sliding as well. But yeah, pretty cooked record by Dubby. None of the great full speed players was able to beat this one. So must be a very clean run. I mean, I'm not great at full speed myself, so I cannot tell. But yeah, if the world record is standing for that long, then it most likely means that it is cooked. Also, yeah, der Typ with 6 gift subs. Holy shit. Der Typ, thank you very much. Going to Glavtor, Keeblinix, Mara, Rakshi, 92 Rod, and Niki. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, we're going to move to the red series. And also here, we once again have the same battle as always. Hobbit in first and Lima in second. It's actually crazy on how many maps that is the case. On so many maps, Lima is second and Hobbit in first. And that is really bad for Lima, of course. So yeah, very, very crazy. This map in general, very, very weird because it uses a lot of fragile driving. And fragile is an effect block where when you go through it, then you crash a wall or have a bad landing from a jump, your car will basically break and you will be very slow. And it's in theory an effect block which no one ever uses because it's like very random and very weird. But for some reason, Nadeo decided to build an entire map around it this time around. And yeah. And because the map is so weird, the records are also very far apart, as you can see. Hobbit and Lima with a huge lead in comparison to the rest. 2 attempts, 2.5 actually. But they absolutely cooked, especially the end here is also very tricky to keep full grip. Then Hobbit here with insane exit speed, keeping all of the speed, clean landing in the end as well. And finishing very, very far at the inside. Very clean. Yeah, out of the other people's POV, it probably looks like Hobbit and Lima are just playing in Div 0, basically. Let's look at that. Yeah, until here, honestly, everyone's still kind of close. Then here, good jump. But then starting from here, the gaps are just, yeah, starting to increase. Hobbit pushing into the lead. Lima also with a very inside line here, as you can see. And especially the end is just so important to have good speed. Dreams actually had it good, but he had a bit too high of a jump. And with that, only is in 5th, otherwise would have been an easy 3rd place. So yeah, crazy run. Hobbit and Lima basically got all of the hard parts of this map very good. And with that, they are far in the lead, but Hobbit with a better run than Lima. So once again, a map where Hobbit is definitely stealing some valuable points from Lima. Also Medaro, thanks for the 14-month free sub. Update is in 50 minutes. And also Pixel Juice, thanks for the 3-month free sub. Alright, with that, we're gonna go into map 17. And also on this map, I would say, I'm first of all going to show you the run that I drove. Because in theory, it's a very simple map. It's basically about having reactor boosts and then you drive on penalty surface. Which is yeah, a very common thing that is used in modern competitive maps. And then they basically decided to build a map around this. But, as we all know, from the weekly shorts especially, when there is a reactor boost on a map, it basically opens the door for millions of possible shortcuts. And yeah, we will see one of these here as well. I mean, you can also maybe guess it by Maniac being 3/10 ahead of 2nd place. Absolutely crazy. But as you can see, if you drive the map the normal way, completely fine. Nothing crazy going on. Inside lines, don't want to oversteer too much, don't want to do anything crazy. But yeah, not too long after the campaign was released, people found a shortcut. And I would say we're going to take a look at the beautiful run of Maniac and all of the others here. And Emilio's run is pathetic, he says. Okay. Wait, I don't know about that. What did Emilius do? Did you choke Emilius? Watching? So, until here, everything normal as you can see. Nothing crazy going on. Just clean lines. But now is where the magic happens. Look at this. People found out that usually you go through this gate, you have reactor down, and it's bad. What are Trackmania people doing? This. Oh, and Emilius is actually in the lead. Oh no, Emilius. What was that turn? Ach du Scheiße, Emilius. Okay. I see it now. So yeah, Maniac with the world record, he had the best start, he had the best end. Not the best shortcut apparently. But yeah, for those of you that didn't understand what was going on here. Basically, usually the way you drive this map, now you go down here. And then you just drive on the penalty grass here, which is obviously slow. Because penalty surfaces are slowing down the car by a lot. So whenever possible, you wanna avoid having contact with it. And people found out that you can basically use the edge of this of the checkpoint here in order to lift your nose up. With that, you still get reactor down, but then you start flying basically. And with that, you basically fly over all of the penalty part. And people found also out that you can land in a way that you can backslide around the entire tight corner, so that you can also maintain the speed. Otherwise, it would be way too fast because the corner is tight. But like this, you can just backslide around the entire corner and it gains, yeah, you can see it, almost 2 seconds here. But let's take a look at Emilio's POV. How sad is the choke actually? How good was his cut? And yeah, Emilius is also hunting the world record on this map right now. Maybe he can beat it in the last 50 minutes. Oh, oh my god, what a fast backslide by Emilius. Maybe it would even be possible to extend the backslide even more and then to go through the triangle of this checkpoint. Ah, but the bush is in the way. Without the bush, maybe possible. But also no clue if that would actually be faster. But yeah, then here he had to completely oversteer, as you can see. And with that, also here in the end, ay. Yeah, Emilius with the massive choke in the end here. Oof. But the shortcut was definitely the best. The flight was actually kinda high, but he got such a good backslide. Look at this. So much extra speed. Absolutely crazy. And even Lima hunted this map, guys. Look at this. Lima can also hunt like anything. Normal maps, shortcut maps. Everything, basically. Crazy. Crazy shortcut here. Pretty cool to watch. And yeah, sick run by Maniac, of course. But there is potential for more. So maybe Emilius will be able to beat it. So with that, we're going to go on to map number 18. And 18 is a sausage tech map. A sausage tech, as a sausage road, is basically what we call this road here in Trackmania. Where the top is like elevated and then the sides go down a little bit, basically. And it's a tech map. So you need to slide on this sausage here. Which is very hard to do, I can tell you that much. And we have Dexter with the world record. And I think this world record is also very, very old already. Probably one of the oldest world records in the campaign, actually. So let's see how clean the run of Dexter, the tech abuser, actually is. We're going in. So, looks clean until here. And here you jump a little bit into a slide to get a better angle. And here, very important to keep the gear. Then here, push for the reactor down, so you barely keep grip. Also, according to Shadow Crancer, the world record by Dabi was done on day 4 or 5 on map 15 on the full speed map. That's crazy. Yeah, this downhill right slide was very, very good by Dexter. And then the end of the map is kind of tricky because you need to slide and then jump into the risky finish with as much speed as possible. And it actually looked like Juicy. Was that Juicy? Was about to snipe. What happened to Juicy? No, it was Overtillion. Yeah, Overtillion. Oh no, how is he called? Over T Lion? I don't even know the name. It's kind of crazy. Like sometimes in campaign records, you see people that you have never seen before anywhere else in the game. Like, so I don't know who this guy is, but he absolutely cooked the run here. But I've never heard the name before. It's super weird. Like when random people decide to suddenly spend 50 hours on a campaign map, then they're also gonna get a really, really good record here. I have no clue who that is, but apparently he can play sausage tech very well. But he was almost about to snipe in the end. Look at that. Oh, and I think, did he hit the finish? I think he hit the finish, guys. I think he hit the finish. Look. I mean, he would have been ahead of him. Nah, he would have finished earlier. He's definitely ahead. Or? I don't know, to be honest. That is really weird. It looked like he didn't hit the finish. But you see, Dexter's car is disappearing earlier. Look. Okay, I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. But, yeah. Unlucky for the lion guy. And lucky for Dexter, I guess. Really, really weird. No clue what happens there. Maybe an issue with the angle of the car. Maybe he did hit the finish and you just don't see it. I don't know. Very interesting. But I think my man got scammed a little bit. Not gonna lie. But okay. Unlucky, I guess. So map number 19 is another full speed map. And it's actually not a normal full speed map because it is fully on grass. Pretty much, at least. And this map also has a crazy... I mean, not really a shortcut, but a crazy trick. Which is basically the same as on this one green map that we saw earlier. I forgot the number actually. But on this map, Nadeo also decided to place respawn boosters. You can also see it like here, for example. So in case you have to respawn at this checkpoint, you're supposed to go here so that you get back to speed. Because otherwise, a full speed map without any speed is pretty yak to drive. But Nadeo was not careful enough with placing these. And with that, people found out that you can very aggressively enter this wall, right? Zack, go very high up. And then push down and go for these boosters over here. And as you can see, it is very, very tight with the entry. Look at this. Zack. Close to both walls. But if you get it right, you have a lot more speed, of course. And yeah, with that, the players absolutely cooked. I think this video is also... this record is also not too old. I think it's like 2 weeks old or so. But with that... he's making it into the finish in first place. Sanika, very close. Also Helbit, not far away. And then, yeah, Idunhammer and Jilatma a little bit behind. But yeah, definitely a bit of a weird map. Like, a very specific kind of driving style, you could say. So, yeah. We're gonna go next. Map 20. The final red map. And this one was probably one of my favorite maps in the campaign. Because it's basically, yeah, a full-speed, freewheel soapbox type of map. We once again have Hobbit in world record. Dude, there's how many maps is there where Hobbit has the WR in front of Lima? It's at least map number 3 or 4. Crazy. But yeah, basically you have engine off and also no brake here. So it's a lot about just rolling without being able to do anything. And you basically perfectly have to maintain your speed here. And yeah, a lot about precision as you can see. Everyone basically having the exact same lines. You see that? Very close. And also here, very, very tight. Zack, over the beam. Then also here, the downhill line, very important. Look at this. Zack. Hobbit got it really clean here. Lima had to oversteer a bit. And then you go onto the grass. And then here, did you hear that? Very important that you get gear 5. Look at this. Zack. Gear 5, ultra important to get. And with that you have a lot of speed up the hill. Hobbit full inside, full YOLO line. And then, yeah, basically a no brake section. Which means you have to no slide around the last tight turn. In my opinion, really cool map. Hobbit especially had a very sick ending. And yeah, with that he has another world record in front of his main opponent. Which is very unfortunate for Lima. And with that, we're now going to go into map 21, which is the only alt car map in the campaign. And it's basically a map that is using all 3 alt cars. So we have a bit of rally, a bit of desert, and a bit of snow. And we have Rinte with the world record. Because the thing with this map is that, of course, you need to be good at driving all of the cars. But the most important part is definitely the desert car part. Which is also why I, for example, couldn't do this at all. I couldn't play this with real guys. I was in the mud. But yeah, people absolutely cooked here, as you can see. A 1:00.38 is an insane time. This run by Rinte was also only done like 2 or 3 days ago, I remember. And yeah, it's 0.16 ahead of second place. It's 0.37 ahead of third. It's more than half a second ahead of top 5. Also, this record is very, very cooked. So let's praise the old car goat Rinte here. And let's see what he did. So first of all, the rally car part. This turn here, pretty much full speed. Got a good line here already. Pushes a bit into the lead. And here we have some relatively awkward bumps. Fun fact, by the way, true. Your Tim, who is in second, actually plays with keyboard, guys. This map is very playable with keyboard. If you are bad on this map and you thought it's because of keyboard, then I may have to disappoint you. It's just you being bad. No front. But yeah, Rinte still the one to beat him here. Because Rinte is, of course, especially the desert car goat. And with his tapping technique, which he basically perfectly mastered, he is just so fast. Look at this. Tap, 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 tap. And also a very interesting looping line where he goes from all the way right to left here to have a smoother line, which just gains a bit more speed basically. And here, 2 intentional 2 wheels, and then coming to the snow car part, which is basically all about precision, not sliding out because you have a lot of speed. Which is also why Rinte goes quite far outside on this turn here. Zack, to not slide out at all. And yeah. Rinte knows how to play all of the cars. He's especially good at desert. And with that, he kinda dominated the world record. Which is a bit sad for your Tim, because I know your Tim was hunting this map for basically the entire campaign. So that's a little bit unfortunate for your Tim. But still, crazy effort by him. Being second with keyboard, very respectable. But Rinte is just insane. I don't know. Where the fuck is your car going in the start? Yeah, in the start there is a cut, guys. I didn't know about this cut in my discovery. But what players found out is that it's faster to not take this turn and then go up. They just go insta-left, basically. And I didn't know about that when I was hunting my record. Look. So yeah, small time loss for me here, but I would have still had no chance at all to beat this world record. Not at all. So yeah, clean record, clean run, cool map in general. And we go to map number 2. Also map number 22. Map number 2 of the Black Series. And here, wait, that's a crazy world record here. Roadtaker, the only one who drove a 58 second time, and it's 0.22 ahead of Dirt Uphill Master Noob Prime. That's crazy. The gap between first and second is like 3 times as big as the gap between second and fifth. That's kind of crazy. So Roadtaker, apparently with a cooked run. Roadtaker, in case you guys don't know him, a very, very good Polish Trackmania hunter especially, also good at many different cars, so he can also hunt alt car maps in theory. And he decided to cook apparently. Let's see what he did. So clean jump here, has a very good line. And here to drop into the water, very awkward to drive, by the way. But got it kind of nice. Then going like zack peng, going over the dirt wobbles, keeping a lot of speed, almost touching. Good exit speed here, then another left slide. Oh, very clean driving. Then here, water bounce, low airtime entry with a very nice line. Then here, there are no sliding. Look at this. Smooth steer by road taker to full speed, no slide. Through the penalty part, has a lot of exit speed. Then one last drift remaining. With that, he set a very, very juicy run. Especially the no slide was nasty. Let's look at that again. Look at this. Poor. Holy bro. Close. And then what is this here? Oh, inside of the wall. Absolutely crazy run here. Absolutely crazy. Holy moly, eh? Let's maybe see that run out of New Prime's POV to see where the time games are really coming from. Yeah, the people on YouTube and also the people that maybe watch this video on YouTube later are listening to my new playlist for YouTube and for streams, which basically has banger OSTs from other games that are suiting Trackmania gameplay. So like a lot of Sonic OSTs, also some other fun stuff that you guys recommended to me. I hope you guys enjoy the music there. So until here, still relatively close. Okay, that drift by Road Taker was insane, to be honest. Then New Prime pushing into second. Bit of a weaker line here. And then, yeah, look at this line entry by Road Taker. He definitely gained a bit with that. And then the nose slide was just so good by Road Taker. Holy moly, bro. No. Also, insane run. Insane run by Road Taker. Insane lead. So far ahead of the competition. Basically playing in, or like in division in division 0, you could say. As people like to say in Cup of the Day. Crazy run. Are we allowed to add suggestions for video game music? Yes, on my Discord. You can do that. Yeah, with that we're gonna go onto a map which got dominated on a whole nother level again. Because we have the German Scroll with the world record. And as you can see, he is almost half a second ahead of second place. While in the meantime, second and fifth place are only 700ths apart. So here the lead by Scroll is absolutely insane. So let's check out this run. This run also only a couple of days old. Very, very recent world record. And he just dominated, guys. Absolute pure domination. Let's actually watch that run only. And then we can see it out of the other people's POV. But yeah, beautiful airtime reduction here. Then this weird wall ride entry. Got it very clean. Then here a quarter pipe jump onto plastic where you want to go extremely low. He even clips the plastic to go down a little bit earlier, which is very crazy. And here, small release to keep grip, to then have more exit speed. Jump here, then here, this uphill is also juicy. Side jump here to reduce airtime. Then zack, no slide up the hill, even has to release because he has so much speed. And then basically jumping here. Then a small wall right here, then here also a small no slide. And then jumps very diagonal to keep as much speed as possible. And then also the last quarter pipe jump is basically as low as possible. Sticks the landing perfectly. Small bump, which didn't lose some speed though. Yeah, also this world record is absolutely crazy. I mean, campaign maps are hunted by a lot of players. I should have maybe actually turned on the map info plugin. Sorry for that. As you can see, 40,000 players and Scroll is just dominating every single one of them. So let's see that out of the other players' POV. Where is he gaining? He is not really having any other tricks. No, he is literally just better. He is doing all of the tricks a little bit better than everyone else and it just snowballs. Like here, for example, already 2 cars ahead almost. Has a lot of exit speed. Then here we have the clip, right? So others are just jumping high, but he clipped and therefore goes down ultra quickly. And I mean, just look at the lead. He's not doing anything else really. He's just insane. Also here, the side jump by him was just a bit better than from the others. I don't know. He completely dominated this map and no one else had a chance. Absolutely crazy performance by Hobbit. By Scroll. I mean, by the others as well. Hobbit as well. They also have good times, but they don't have a chance against Scroll. Like, crazy. Absolutely crazy domination. Insane run. So, map 24, second last map, and probably the most fucked map in the entire campaign. In my opinion, if you judge it like mapping-wise, mapping quality-wise, definitely also the worst map in the campaign. An absolute pain to hunt the champion medal here. And I think almost everyone agrees that this map is kinda shit. There's of course a few people that like it, also because there is a huge shortcut on this map. But I would say I'm first of all going to show you the normal route, because for the champion medal that I hunted, there's also a video about that online on my YouTube main channel if you want to rewatch that. I didn't want to go for the shortcut because, I mean, you will see it later, it's completely crazy. So I had decided to hunt the map the normal way, and I had to get a really clean run. So this one is pretty nice. I did go for a speed boost here, so the same kind of reactor trick as on map 08 at the end, if you remember. So you slow down by holding brake, and then you have like this speed boost. I mean, you can literally see it. And here a small slide, and then you have to go into ice. Where you want to have an inside line into reactor. Then here I actually got a small speed boost, guys. Very interesting. This is something that not many others were doing. But usually you're supposed to get reactor down and then go normally over the penalty grass. But I decided to over-angle my car in the reactor. With that I got reactor up. And then I took the hill to get another speed boost here. And as you can see, it is quite fast. So, yeah, very, very wild how much reactor abusing is going on here. But it will get even wilder with the actual, with the actual world record. Then also here you have to slow down and go here and grip the wood. This is honestly kind of cool with the wood grip. And here, very awkward slide out of the wood as well. Decided, yeah, I was forced to do it basically. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to get it. And then at the end, you just want to jump and into the risky finish. Hella weird map. But I actually didn't even need that long for it. For those of you that want to see my grinding stats. I know that some other streamers, Scrappy, had to hunt very long to get this one. But I only needed 1 hour. I think Scrappy hunted this for like 5 hours. So, yeah. Giga PF for your streamer, guys. For me, no issue at all. For Scrappy, big issue because big skill issue. Nah, jokes aside, I love Scrappy. But yeah, now that this is done, let's check out the actual world record. Because as you can see, Jan is fucking 5 seconds ahead. That is absolutely insane because this map has a huge reroute. So what people are doing, they get the speed boost, but then they jump up the wall here with a 360 and land in the reactor and pick up this checkpoint here early on. That's like very important. Pick up this checkpoint early on. Then they do this ice part in reverse. So they get this checkpoint. They zoop around here. Zack. And then they drop into the ice slide with reactor. Super weird. And then here they go back to this reactor part again. Get this reactor and then they jump up into this part. And then they basically drive the map the normal way. But for those of you that are paying a lot of attention, you know that the people are missing one more checkpoint. So they cannot jump into the finish ring just yet because they need to pick up this checkpoint over here, right? They pick up this checkpoint over here, but as you can see, the checkpoint is 1 block further down. So you can neither get into this finish, and also getting into this finish is, yeah, very, very tricky. So what people are doing is they flip out here with a wall bounce, low landing. They land on purpose on the roof because with that they bounce up and fly into the finish. And you have to do all of that in one run. Completely mind-blowing. A wicked simulator map, yeah. Like so many flips and weird things going on. Like here, flip number 1 or 360 number 1. And here, reactor yeet flying section. Then here, flip number 2 into the reactor. Here, another reactor flight. Clean landing here. Very good exit speed. The brain rot to hunt this type of reroute, yeah. And then here, zack. And, yeah. I mean, what can I say about the end? Absolutely crazy. Zack and zack. You really need to be an absolute reactor abuser in order to even have a chance at getting the shortcut once, and people actually are deciding to hunt it. Very crazy, very wild, very stupid. But also this shortcut was found in the first week of the campaign, which is the only reason why, yeah. Which is the only reason why, why the champion battle is so hard. So, yeah. And with that, we're gonna go over to the final map 25, which is actually the world record holder is Mime, which is pretty interesting because Mime is not playing the Trackmania games because I know he's busy with writing his bachelor thesis or something at the moment, and he also didn't play the big Trackmania Cup for that reason. But apparently he had time to hunt map 25's world record. And with that, Hubert, the forklift operator, is in the lead. Very clean. So let's see what he does. Goes full clean here. Bit behind, to be honest. Why are you guys lolling, huh? Don't give that guy attention. I know who that guy is. So, then underwater, full speed no slide here. Very clean exit. And then here we have the very important ice slide where the exit is... yeah, look at this. Zack. Exit is weird and you need to keep really good speed up the hill in order to have a chance at making it. Zack. And then, yeah, good speed into the bobsleigh and actually pretty close records. Look at this. The gap in the top 5 is only 1/10. Like the gap on some white maps have almost been bigger. Very crazy. But yeah, it's a very normal map. No crazy tricks have been found on this map. No reactor abusing. No anything, basically. A perfectly normal mixed map, you could say. And with that, yeah. Normal players, like mine, are of course pretty strong. And he decided to sit down and get this WR. And that is very bad for Lima once again, because Lima again in second place. Like, how many second places does Lima have? Like, holy moly. It's crazy. It is pretty crazy. Yeah, Lima has way too many second... It's actually sad. Like, in theory, Lima has more better records than Hobbit. But Hobbit has 5 world records. And, yeah. Lima only has 2. And the world records are, of course, the most important, since the world record gives 40,000 points. And then, the way the scoring system works, basically, is that the second place on a map gets 1/2 of the points of first. Then third place gets 1/3 of the points of first. So only 16k anymore. So the drop is like, I mean, not 16, 13 actually. So the drop is like very significant. It's very important to get as many world records as possible. And yeah, with that, Lima sadly not in the lead, despite being so good on so many maps. But maybe some miracle is gonna happen in the last 20 minutes of the campaign. I don't know, but probably most of the world records are gonna stay the way they are. And yeah, with that, I can only congratulate all of the players. Very, very clean runs. Cool to see all of the shortcuts, but also cool to see all of the very, very precise runs and all of the small tricks people have found. Very good cooking by everyone once again. And I'm especially excited to see what people are going to cook in the winter 2026 campaign, especially considering that the 5 black maps of that campaign are going to be official esport maps as well. It's going to be hella exciting. Yeah, for the people watching this on YouTube, I really hope you enjoyed, of course. Thank you very much for watching and see you guys in another video. Bye bye.